Hello, hello. Welcome to Unlimited Appetizers, the show where we simulate killing time while waiting for your food at a restaurant. I am your host, Erin.
And I'm your cheese, Mancha.
That's
I
nice.
forgot to come
I
up
like
with
that
one
for
before
you.
the episode, and I had to you start doing the intro, and I'm like, oh shit.
Sweating.
I want to
um,
be clear that was like the butter cheese and not like Swiss.
the butter cheese we almost named our podcast after, but it was too
We
deep of a cut.
we need to make it a known enough cut so that we can rename the podcast the Cheese Cast.
We need to have a cheese segment. For anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, it is
Uh,
it's an image of sticks of butter and it says cheese spelled Chease, and it is the funniest meme I've ever seen in my life.
I have like my own Discord server that I send stuff to myself in, and it is the only pinned thing I think in that server, just so I can find it whenever I want
It's
it.
it's an important image that comes up a lot. Um what was I gonna say? Oh, I was gonna say, so this was another week where things were a little like scrambly getting the podcast out today. And so I was editing the promo for the previous episode right before we recorded this. And at the beginning of last episode, I was like burping or something and like waiting to like do the intro. And I thought for sure you were gonna like mess with me and leave it in, but you cut it out. And I was like, oh, Mancha respects me a lot because that was like goofy.
I like half thought it, and then like I tried it out, and it wasn't like a great intro.
It was a
So
little long. Yeah, it was there was a lot going on there. But I just thought it was funny.
I respect the bit.
It was great. Last episode we talked about um sodas and we were ranking sodas. And I was just thinking of this because you are a connoisseur of diet soda and I don't drink it like at all or like very
Yeah.
rarely. But anytime I've gotten a Diet Monster, it has never missed. They like all slap. And I'm like, I hate diet things, but there's like this is the diet thing I like.
Is that the peach one?
Yes, peach one.
I
You don't
love
like
those.
it? Oh
No,
yeah,
I
no,
said I
it's
do
great.
like those. No,
Yeah.
it's for the monsters. None of them are misses because they're diet.
Yeah.
I don't love the watermelon one, but that's because it's watermelon, and I'm not a huge
I think
watermelon
I've had it
fan.
once. Yeah.
But like stuff where there's not an alternative, right? There's not sugary versions of those drinks. Almost always are really good. The drinks that are questionable sometimes are stuff that they're trying to convert over. So like
Yeah.
a Dr. Pepper Zero is going to be like a distinctly different drink.
I also feel like energy drinks often translate over better because energy drink taste already makes things taste a little off. So like that it doesn't bother me in a way that it does with like a soda. Like if I'm having like a Coke or something, I notice if you give me a diet one. But like energy drinks, like a lot of people when I like give them to people or if they drink them, they're like, "Ooh, this tastes like weird. I don't like it." And it's like the energy drink taste, and I think they're
Yeah.
kind of similar vibes. Yep.
Also, I just think fruit flavors work better
Yeah. Oh yeah.
with diet. So yeah, I love those. Whenever I can, they have a 12 pack at like places like Walmart and stuff, and it's my 4 favorite flavors, which is insane. Which is the white, the rosa, the gold, which is the pineapple one, and the fiesta, which is the mango one. So it's like the whatever the white flavor is, and then grapefruit and mango and pineapple, which is like a god tier mix.
Sweet. Yeah. So I don't how's your week been?
Uh what have I been doing? I figure I'm trying to get back into making music mashups. Because I came up
Okay.
with an idea for like a album that I could do, we'll see if I get there, and I don't want to talk about it yet. But I
I'm
did
like
mix
that, yeah.
right before this. I was mixing together "Burnin' for You" by Blue Oyster Cult and "Firework" by Katy Perry, and it really works really well.
That's good.
So we'll
You're
see
doing
if
the
I get
like
anywhere
Neil
with that.
Cicierega thing.
Yeah,
That's the only person I know who does it.
I I mean
um,
he's the biggest inspiration for this stupid shit that I do. So
sure. That's fair. Um, my week has been insane. For a couple reasons. So one, the project that I've been on at work since I started is releasing very soon. We're supposed to be done with it this week, but like, I don't know, we'll see. So I have a lot for work that I'm doing kind of like down to the wire. And then GalaxyCon is also this weekend, GalaxyCon Raleigh. And I was making two costumes for that. They're mostly like bought items, but I had to do some stuff for it. And I haven't like made anything in a while, so it was like a lot. And then also like Tyler has like 8 panels or something, so it's just gonna be like a hectic week for us. But he gets like a hotel and stuff, so we're gonna go party and have a good time. But yeah, having like con crunch intersect with like work crunch, and then just being like busy in general. Like we went out of town last weekend and stuff. I just haven't had a lot of downtime. So I was like running around like crazy today, trying to get podcast stuff done, trying to do work, trying to blah blah blah. Um, but now we're here, and yeah.
I'll say maybe 2 or 3 weeks before I have to get back into work crunch, and then work crunch is going to be stressful for like 2 weeks, and then the school year will have started, and I'll be fine. It's
Yeah.
just like preparing for everything, especially since I might be teaching a new class this year.
Oh, okay.
We'll see.
I'm very excited for this weekend because this episode will already I'll have already posted about it before this comes out, but I have Takemi from Persona 5, which I've wanted to do forever and I haven't finished. And then I've made a Tiny Kong cosplay from Donkey Kong 64, and I have bought Tyler a horrifying Donkey Kong suit on Amazon Prime that was like $70, but I had $50 in like Prime reward points, so I was like, why not? And I'm very excited to make him wear that because it's like horrifying.
So let's wheel it back a little bit to I said stupid shit I do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a quote I said like about 3 minutes ago. Let's talk about stupid shit I do. Today's discussion topic is food taxonomy.
Yes.
If you're one of my friends who like knows me and has met me in person, you probably know about this horrible rabbit hole where I'm very opinionated on distinguishing the specifics of like different kinds of foods.
What they're like
And I have
classified as.
what they're classified as, what groups things are in. I've spent
Mhm.
like entire meals with my family and with friends obsessively talking over this.
Uh-huh. I am not that passionate about it, but I like hearing your ramblings, and I don't think I've ever disagreed with one of your classifications, so I'm ready for you to hit me with whatever you got.
Yeah. So the background for this is I've been like developing this idea in the background. I've done a panel for it at a convention, which was a lot of fun. There were like actual like chefs who were at the convention and showed up to the panel and had like really good input on the ideas, which was hilarious. So like I had a PowerPoint on this that I'm not going to pull up because it's outdated, and I don't know where any of my notes are. I had a bunch of notes for things I had to fix, and I lost them. So I have to go back in and like fix my like peer review process or whatever.
So you had
But
some that were
anyway,
wrong.
yeah, it was so like if you know taxonomy, right? Do you know like domain, kingdom, phylum, that kind of thing?
I kind of have an idea of the structure. I don't really know, but yeah.
It's the mnemonic was dear King Philip came over for and then there are
Hmm.
two options, and the one I will be using is good spaghetti. There's another option from the show Community that I will not be saying on air, but you can go look that up.
Man, I haven't watched Community. I'm not in on the joke.
I'll tell you later.
Okay. Oh, did it?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna get that. I paused it and told Erin, and it was funny. You can look it up. Anyways, like, so I had like that domain, kingdom, phylum thing, and the order of that was weird. Anyways, this all came about because I was mad at people calling Pop-Tarts raviolis. They're not ravioli.
So how's a
Ravioli is
ravioli
pasta.
defined? Okay.
Well, it's a pasta. Like, that's it. It's in the categorization system that I'm working on, pasta is just pasta, because it's always made like in a specific way where you have like, you know, I don't know everything that goes into pasta, but you know, you have your grain and your water and like your whatever other mix-ins, because I know that there has to be something else. I think there's salt, and then you press it like a certain way, and then you have to, you know, cook it in a pot.
Yes.
Full of water. So
because
if it
were to be a ravioli, that would be like saying that anything that has a filling ever is a ravioli, and it's not like enough of a connection.
I mean, some people like drawing that conclusion, but it's wrong, right? Like,
yeah,
a Twinkie is not a ravioli. A Claire is not a ravioli. What else has like stuff inside of it? At that point, then humans are just big raviolis full of like blood.
Are
right?
we not all big raviolis?
Anyways, that's a dangerous precedent.
Yeah, I agree.
So I want to talk about some of like my thoughts on this. Erin's gonna throw some questions my way, I'm sure. But I want to talk about. Have you heard of cube rule of food, Erin?
Cube rule of food?
Yes.
No, I have not.
So there's a common internet concept, and I'm on board with most of it. Where what you can define something that has a grain with it is based on what sides of a cube the grain occupies. Because not all foods have like a grain component, right? So like a salad would, that's its own thing. Like soup is its own thing. But so this is for everything. Like, you know, what constitutes a sandwich is always the big question, right? Okay. So a sandwich by cube rule, it is, you know, if we have a cube, bread top and bottom. My like legalistic ruling of a sandwich is a little more specific, which is bread on the top and bottom can be connected, but it has to be able to stay together while unconnected. Because if you take a piece of bread and you put peanut butter on it and fold it in half, that's a sandwich.
Yeah.
That sandwich would stay together whether or not the bread was folded or you cut it. But a taco, which some people considers a sandwich because it's, you know, two sides of bread with fillings in the middle, is not a sandwich, because if you break the taco shell, the taco is not meant to be eaten with out that extra layer of defense. So that's its own thing. I do have some radical beliefs. I do believe that tacos and hot dogs are in the same category of food.
I feel like that makes sense.
Quesadillas are sandwiches.
Yeah. If like a sandwich melt is a sandwich, that's like what a quesadilla is.
Yeah, basically. I mean, again, sandwich is top, bottom, that's it. Quesadilla fits that. Burgers fit that. Chicken sandwiches fit that. And then like if you go deeper into cube rule of food, right? There's I had got down to sandwiches, pasta. I had called like tacos and hot dogs folds, where it's like side, bottom, and something on the inside. Because again, like a hot dog, if the bread is broken, you're gonna have a bad time eating that hot dog. That's not the way that it was intended to be eaten. Which is why I've also like included the rule. It's how the food was intended to be eaten. Yes, I could take a piece of pizza and fold it over and call it a sandwich, but that doesn't make it a sandwich. I
Yeah.
could like take 2 pieces of pizza and like put like lettuce and tomato and bacon in between them and eat that, but that's fucked up. I that was on purpose, right?
All right, so we hadn't even gotten back to me. It was I did one last episode, and then you did another one. Now you're up another point.
I
Also,
am up to, but I needed that one.
just realized, you've gotten a little weird a couple times. This little boy not plugged in. I'm gonna try plugging it in. I hope it doesn't explode.
Okay, so I said the F word and like everything broke.
It was punishing you for that. Yeah, everything like imploded, and it imploded before I even plugged the Ethernet in, so I don't even know what happened. But my camera shut off, the Zencaster had an issue, bunch of things happened. We're back.
We were talking about food, but I want to derail this really quickly to talk about something completely different. Because while we were fixing that issue, I opened up Twitter and then saw a headline: "Loch Ness monster existence plausible after incredible discovery."
They're talking about our podcast.
They're
We
talking-
just posted it.
They're talking about Vanessa Hudgens, who's real. No, apparently plesiosaurs could have been freshwater creatures, which means that like 150 million years ago, Nessie could have been real, just like she is now. And I still don't know what Vanessa Hudgens like does.
She did High School Musical, and then I think she did other things, but all I remember is she got clowned on for like, I think it was like during COVID, like she said something insensitive about like going to Coachella and being like, it's fine, we're all gonna like get it, like if some old people die, whatever. It was like a bad clip, and it was like, ooh, don't tell them that take. That's not a good take.
150 million years ago, the Loch Ness monster lived in Loch Ness. Now she has signed to lead and executive produce the trucker adventure drama film Big Rig.
Was it
Food.
Coachella? Sorry, I'm pretty sure that was her. I want to make sure I wasn't slandering her. But yeah. Yeah, flippant coronavirus comments. Maybe it didn't have anything to do with Coachella, but it was definitely that. It was like Instagram Live or something. But anyway, that's that.
People shouldn't be allowed to go online, us included. Anyways, so like all the categories of the grains were sandwiches, pasta, folds, flatbreads, which is like a pizza, cereals, pockets, which is every side is surrounded, so a hot pocket and a burrito are the same thing.
Ooh, and those little Totinos.
Pizza rolls.
I love
God's
those.
favorite food. Sorry, I would like die for pizza rolls, and I would also consider committing heinous felonies for pizza rolls.
Those Totino's pizza rolls, there's sometimes when I'm eating them and I'm like, these are terrible. And then there's other times I'm eating them and I'm like, these are the greatest thing ever invented. And I flip between those two.
They're at their most perfect if you can find the right way to toast them correctly. And it's also 2 a.m. and you're drunk.
Yes, I will say that is typically when they taste the best. Yes. All right, continue.
I had rice as a category. Cause I was like, sushi was confusing, and I think it works better to make rice its own category since rice bowls are a thing, and rice and pasta are very similar but different. Like where they're something you usually eat with other stuff, and you use. Yeah, I don't know. It makes sense like that. And then the big thing is, okay, so where do Pop-Tarts fit in this? Because in theory, by my rules, they would fit with pockets, right? So in theory, they would be the same category as a Hot Pocket, but they aren't. And that's because my system says that if it has sugar in it, it's automatic. If it has, a significant amount of sugar in it, it automatically changes it to a dessert.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna say I was like they all like kind of have sugar in them, but yeah, like a jelly donut or something and a Pop-Tart are probably like in that same.
Because let's be honest, donuts are a dessert. We just eat that dessert for breakfast.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
like donuts, most baked goods, cakes, pies, and it like fits with candy. So sugar, it's like there's a hierarchy of like how much a food group affects what a food is, and sugar I think is the most, personally, because the more sugar something has in it, the more likely it is to be a dessert. And then grain afterwards, and then meat I think is next. Meat or dairy, but I think meat, because like usually you go vegetarian and before going vegan. It's easier to cut meat out than it is to cut all like dairy out.
Yeah, you're cutting out more to be vegan than you are to be vegetarian.
So it's like sugar, grain, meat, dairy, fruit, and vegetables are about the same category, because at the because when you get to that point, you're kind of it's just like, I'm gonna eat an apple, that's like a fruit. I'm gonna eat a pumpkin, that's a fruit. I'm gonna eat an eggplant, that's a fruit. Most vegetables are fruits, like botanically.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
They're
I know about tomatoes. I didn't know about the rest of them.
They're also mostly berries.
Is a pumpkin a berry?
I think so.
Let me find this out.
I know bananas are berries. I know eggplants are berries. Cucumbers, I think, are berries.
Ooh.
Botanically, it's a vegetable, basically, if it's a root plant. So like
blackberries and raspberries are not berries at all, but bananas, pumpkins, avocados, and cucumbers are. How did they mess this up that bad?
I have no clue. It's one of my favorite facts to pull out just to screw with people.
Yeah.
The other big thing, like when it comes to this topic, that I care a lot about is what constitutes a condiment versus a spice versus a spread, because they're three different things. Okay. So a condiment is something you add at the very end when you're about to eat it, just to make the food taste better, right?
Yes.
A spice is something you add while you're making the food to make it taste better. And they're different because they act differently. Spices work because you're cooking it for a long time and like letting that seep in, and condiments are like, I just want this like extra thing. So this means some can be both, right?
I was gonna say, I was like, where are you putting pepper? Because I feel like I don't.
Some can be both.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then a spread is something that looks like a condiment, but it's significant enough that I think it changes what you're eating. Okay. So what I mean by that is, I don't think cream cheese or peanut butter or guacamole, for instance, are condiments. They're like substantial enough and have enough nutrients, and you're gonna put like enough on your food for that to be like an ingredient, as opposed to just like some like barbecue sauce.
I'm with you on guacamole was the only one I wasn't sure about, but the other ones,
guacamole is weird, but like again, I don't know if there might need to be a fourth category where I could consider dip a separate one.
Yeah.
But right now I feel like dips and spreads might just need to be united under a common term. Because I wouldn't... Yeah. I don't want to consider salsa or queso a condiment, I don't think. Although they can be used in that capacity, but like if you're eating chips and queso, I don't think you're putting a condiment on your chips. Yeah.
Okay. That's fair.
I don't know. It's very about semantics is what this dumb thing is.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have
You
any
classify
questions?
more based on intended uses, and I think these little people trying to be funny on the internet try to just break down like other characteristics of it that aren't like the heart of it. So I
Yeah,
like how you classify things.
it's just like, yeah, you can look at things like superficially, but I think it's more fun and also funnier, honestly, to take this seriously. Um, I think that there's like some real humor in just taking this just completely seriously. I don't want to take up too much time with this section because it is mostly just me. I want to give you some time to talk. So, do you have
No,
any
I got
questions
you.
or anything, or do we want to move to
Um,
your section?
trying to think if I got you got any weird drink ones,
Uh,
or is it
Not
mostly just
really.
food? Okay.
Drink. I mean, beverages are their own category, right? It's a drink. I want to be clear. Soup's not a drink. A drink is something that you are using it to try to quench your thirst. It may not, like, it may make you more thirsty in the long run, but you're using it to try to quench your thirst. So soup
Mm-hmm.
isn't a freaking drink. Uh, Water technically is not a beverage by the rules of beverages and like the definition of words, but we'll lump it in because I don't want to make a category that's just water.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I feel you on the thirst quenching stuff. I always will drink if I'm drinking anything that isn't water, I will also drink water with it because if it's
yeah,
sugar or something, I'm like, I need to wash that away. Because it
because
doesn't
again,
actually help you. Yeah.
like any alcoholic drink will, in the long run, make you more thirsty,
Mm-hmm.
but like in like the short term, you'll be a little quenched.
Quenched. Excellent. All right. I feel like I've been educated today. Oh, I
You've been
also
learned.
wanted to note, I mentioned this before we started recording. I'm wearing a Halloween shirt because this is coming out in August, and August is the first month of Halloween. There are 3 months, August, September, and October, and I have enough Halloween shirts to carry me through the whole way, and I intend to do so. So, anyway.
I'm disappointed that I don't think I have enough Halloween stuff to do that. So I need to change that. I can definitely do October, but I
Yeah.
need to add more to my retinue.
I went insane last Halloween last year, and I'm looking forward to going insane again.
I got decorations last year, so this year I think I want to get clothing.
Yeah, I got a ton. I have a that light up purple Halloween tree that is just one of my permanent furniture items now. It's
It,
supposed to be for Halloween, it just lives in my living room.
it's just Erin core.
Yeah, it doesn't it fits. It fits. So for the second segment, I have borrowed this card game from my friends. Um it's called Like You, I think. Yeah. And it just has like conversation starters on it. So we were thinking like, because the discussion was more something that Mancha knew and I didn't. This would be kind of discussion-y but kind of gamey. I'll skip ones that are dumb. But I'm just gonna read questions off of it and we can talk about them. And if there's a dumb one, we can skip it. Like I'm going to skip these two. Some of these are a little sappy. Okay, all right. I think I got a good one to start with. Um, if you had a warning label, what would it say?
There are a lot of options.
I know. Loud, just like loud on my
Yeah,
forehead.
I was like, I know Erin's.
Wow, rude.
Um,
We can both be like that dog wearing the jacket that says nervous.
yeah, like that. Nervous would be one. One
Mhm.
brain cell.
Okay, that's a good one.
Warning. Does not want to be here.
Oh, I've learned a new one for me that I've learned through dating Tyler. I am really not aware of like where things on my body are, and if we're like laying on the couch or like in a bed or something, I will just accidentally like deck him in the face all the time by like moving around and not being aware where I am. And like every time it happens, he'll just sigh and be like, I saw you moving and I knew you were going to do it. So that's another one. I accidentally flail.
Unaware of surroundings.
Yes, there you go.
I mean, to be fair, I'm allowed a lot in person because I'm not good at tempering my volume. So like after work, especially where like I have to be loud all day, I'll like get in the car, and like usually I drive my mom to and from work because we work at the same place. And I'll start talking. She's like, "You're so loud. You are so loud."
I get
I'm
that
like,
all the time too. I'm with you. I'm excited. Like, don't harsh my energy. So some of these are just like this one said, "Would you adopt a child?" And I feel like it'd be like I don't know. That's like a mean thing to say no to. I mean, like, yeah, there's some scenario where I would do that. Like, but whatever.
Yeah, that's like weird. Like,
Yeah, some of them are like,
maybe not now.
yeah, I'm
Sure.
like, are you like providing one right now? Because no thanks. But if you were arrested without an explanation, what would your friends or family think you did?
I don't know what they think I do. Like a mild mannered dude who doesn't do thing.
You got the DMCA people came for you, something or copyright
The
claims
copyright police.
on your Uberosity channel. They come to your house. They yell at you for pirating things. I don't know what mine would be. I feel like I could do a lot of things wrong.
I'm not trying to flex or anything, but like I don't know what I would do. What else that would like I would do that would be like wrong, like
We are
tax
both
evasion.
Yeah, we are both so afraid of the law. Oh, you know what? I accidentally forgetting to do my taxes or something for sure.
Yeah,
Like, cause yeah,
it would be for something I forgot to do, not something I did on purpose. Just like
yeah,
forgetting to go to jury duty.
like, oops, that was illegal. I forgot. Or like driving, like if my car registration's expired or something and I don't know, like something like that. Yeah.
Oh, I have to put my sticker on my car.
Oh, did I just remind you of something?
I have the sticker. It's in the car, but it should be on the license plate.
Are aliens real?
Yes.
Tyler very passionately believes they are real. I feel like they are definitely real, but I don't know if they're like the little, dudes with the heads.
my opinion is I think that I've told you this, I think. That I think aliens are going to be very similar to humans with like only vague evolutionary differences.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be similar. I don't think we're going to get anything super out there that's intelligent life. If it's an animal, all bets are off.
Sure. Did you grow up to be who you said you were going to be when they asked you as a kid?
Nope, not even close.
I feel like I got closer than most people because I feel like a lot of kids run around saying that they're going to make video games, and I went and got a degree for that and make like, they're for real life purposes, but they're video games. The thing that I did not do is when I was a child, I really, really badly wanted to be goth. And when I would draw pictures of myself in the future, I had like an all like black house and I had black hair. And like, I just draw myself in like skeleton like clothes and stuff. And like, I mean, sometimes I wear things like that, but I did not live up to what little me wanted.
I mean, you wear skeleton clothes, but like,
There's a
you like had a skeleton shirt on like 2 episodes
Yeah.
ago or something.
Yeah, it was mostly like I really wanted black hair when I was a kid, and then now it's like I haven't dyed my hair, but if I did, I feel like I would pick a different color first. But yeah, that was the thing that I was always worried about.
I super didn't. I was one of those kids that like drifted between jobs like every year.
Mm-hmm.
So like the two that I remember, I remember like scientist. I think at one point I said rock star, not like knowing anything about music. I don't know why that was the thing I wanted to do. Like a marine biologist syndrome, where it's just like that's a job. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
And then, like, for the longest time, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And now I know what I want to do, and it's going to be really hard to get there, I think.
Yeah.
I want to
I
make content.
That's
Like,
that
for a
is like a
living.
thing that I didn't have any concept of as a child. Like I wanted to make stuff and be creative, but I didn't, I didn't watch YouTube, or I didn't, think anything, or I didn't know what cosplay was. Like any of the things that I do now for fun that are like content were not in my brain. But like when I was in 5th grade, I wanted to be an animator, and I had Windows Movie Maker, and I would just draw things in MS Paint and then squish them down to the shortest amount of time you could have them be in Movie Maker. So it was like a frame, and I would just like play them all. And I spent like hours and hours doing that, and I would always tell people that's what I wanted to be. And then like I wasn't good enough of an artist, but also I feel like the thing that I went into is like in that same like vein.
Yeah, it's close.
Like I work with animators and stuff. I'm just not the one doing exactly that. But yeah. Kind of similar. I guess we were just kind of hitting on that. Do you know your life's purpose? This may be too deep for podcast.
No, I don't know my purpose. I just want to like be good to people.
I want to make stuff and have a good time. That's what I want to do.
I want to make stuff and be good to people.
I want to have a lot of friends and have a lot of adventures, but the specifics are to be determined.
My life's purpose is to shatter my my hand slapping the Mothman statue's ass at Point Pleasant.
I have a story about someone I don't think they want me to tell, but someone I know punched a truck and injured their hand.
Oh no.
Where's the last place you've traveled?
Raleigh, North Carolina.
Rochester, New York. So
wow,
we are
really?
not mixing it up.
Wow, things we've talked about on the podcast.
Are you a rule keeper or a rule breaker? I think we are both rule keepers.
We are pretty heavy rule keepers.
I will always follow the rules because I hate being talked to even somewhat sternly.
I'm only a rebel if I think I have a chance to change the rules.
Yeah, that's fair. Or if it's something like you're not really going to take a lot of heat for, if you're like, we should do something about that.
Yeah, like tax evasion.
If you could rid the world of one piece of modern technology, what would it be?
Okay, this is a weird one. Okay, but this is on the same vein as like what I just said. Services that do your taxes for you.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, anything that where the whole structure is just to mess with you and they like pass laws to make it hard for you to do.
Yeah, where they lobbied so that the IRS didn't do taxes for us. I would get rid of that so the IRS would do my taxes and I didn't have to commit tax evasion.
I'm trying to think what the biggest like technology threat thing we have is. I feel like deep fakes people are very concerned about, but I'm not really that worried about it, so I feel like that's not what I would pick.
Can we talk about how robots are cool as hell in media and terrifying in real life?
Yeah, they're very weird looking. I was at a thing where they had one of those robotic dogs walking around. It was pretty cool.
Those things can like kill you.
Yeah, they're crazy.
They're powerful.
Yeah.
And murderous.
Powerful and murderous. I don't know. I feel like there's some social media thing that I would like to like just delete, but there's too many. I can't narrow one down.
Keemstar.
Keemstar is the piece of modern technology I've selected to remove. How do you get rid of stress? I don't. Next question. No.
No, that's pretty. I mean, do you want a bad answer? Because I only have a bad answer.
Go ahead.
I ignore everything and play video games until I'm more stressed.
That I was literally going to give you the same answer. Yeah, because like, okay, so like me and Tyler talk about this a lot because he likes to relax by like watching TV or just like sitting there doing nothing. That drives me insane. Like I cannot sit and watch a TV show. I have to be like really in the right mood. But like video games is how I'll relax. But I want to play video games where I'm micromanaging something that I have control over, and then that makes my brain feel better, and then I'm like less stressed. So like, you know, me like stressfully managing my Stardew Valley farm is like relieving my real world stress. That's like what I do.
Yeah, it's good. Like if I play like League or something, there is like a good chance I'm gonna get really annoyed at somebody just being unable to play the game properly. And although I'm not someone who will flame other people, I will get upset, and then that will be the thing I'm focused on, and not my stress.
Yup. There you go. After finishing cereal, do you drink the milk?
I rarely have cereal, but yes, you don't waste the milk.
I don't. It's dirty milk. But also I eat dry cereal a lot because I just eat it out of a little baggie like a creature.
I like doing that with Lucky Charms.
Okay, yeah. That's
Lucky
fair.
Charms are good, one at a time. But not like Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
What is the best age to get married? Not right now. I don't know.
That's my answer. When I'm ready.
Oh, this is
when you are older than 20.
I feel like, yeah, I would say there's no like max on it, but I would say like there's a minimum. I mean, there's always exceptions. There's always people that make it work out, but like I know myself when I was like 20 or 21 and like no way, dude. Like I'm still like no way now, but yeah.
No way right now.
So this is fun because we could probably answer for each other. What would your friends say is their favorite thing about you? You've done this before, where you sit there and stare at me.
I want to see if I can get away with it again.
No.
Just how much effort you put into doing things with other people.
Aw, that's nice. I was actually gonna say something kind of similar about you. I was gonna say that you're reliable, and like when we wanted to do this podcast, you were one of the only people I knew where I was like, Mancha would do that consistently because he has his own YouTube channel and it would be like fun, and like I can see that he can keep up with things like that. And also just you're reliable for having a good time with. That's another one.
Sometimes funny.
Yeah. How long have we been going on this?
Let's do like 2 more, I think.
Okay. Let me try to get good ones. How did you play when you were younger? I like that one. Like, what'd you do?
So I played a lot by myself because my siblings and I are all really spread out. So, like my sister came after me, and that was like 3 or 4 years after I was born. And then my brother after that was like another 3 years. So it's like I didn't get along with my sister very much as a child because we didn't have anything in common. And then my brothers were too young, so I had a lot of like self stuff. I played a lot with Legos, and what I would do would be I would build like video game platforming levels with Legos, and then like make my little Lego guy like play through the level and fight monsters that I put in it, like Legend of Zelda style, and like collect items and learn magic spells. And like I had a bunch of bins that's just like, these are the magic spells I unlocked for like this run of like the game I was doing. And I also like pretended to be a spy a lot. Like I was really into Spy Kids.
I was into Totally Spies, and I remember I had neighbors who would pretend to be Totally Spies, and we'd all fight over who gets to be Sam. I also had, my brothers are 5 and 7 years older than me, so I also was pretty much playing by myself all the time. I was really just into like making stories or like drama with things, which, you know, clearly I just evolved to do that in real life. No, so I had like, I had stuffed animals, I had Barbies, I had like Polly Pockets, I had Legos, I had just like like little like figurines of animals and stuff. Just like anything that I had with like a face on it, I would be like, I'm gonna make drama. I remember I had a Polly Pocket set that had an airplane, and I would always do like the airplane crashed and they're stranded on an island and like stuff like that.
I did just remember the one game I loved playing with my little brothers, though, is a game I came up with called Boss Fight, where I would be a video game like monster, and my brother would have to like beat me up, but like it was like using video game rules. So like there was like
Okay.
I had like a weak point depending on like what I was trying to do, and I would have like consistent attack patterns and like a numerical amount, like 3 hits and you beat the monster, and then it would get harder like the further you got into the
You were
game.
like LARPing.
It was like sort of LARPing, but like it wasn't like there was no story. It was just
Right.
like, let's just like play this game where you get to hit me with a pillow and I get to like throw you across the room.
My brother Kyle used to set up like obstacle course things in the house with like pillows and stuff and make me like run it. He also had this motion activated stormtrooper thing that he would set up places, and it scared the daylights out of me whenever I walked by it, and him and his friends loved to torture me with that.
Last one.
Yes, I just pulled one that is a very not for the podcast thing.
Is it inappropriate? Is it inappropriate?
There's a couple that are inappropriate. The last like 3 I pulled were all kind of inappropriate. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna read some of these to you afterwards. All right, if I don't like these next 3, I'm gonna do this one. No. Okay, do you believe in fate?
No.
I don't, but I've also had a lot of things happen to me in life where I lucked out like crazy well. But I don't expect it as a given, and I think coincidences happen a lot. So not really.
Yeah, I think everything's a lot of. I don't think fate is real. I think that there are a lot of things that are and that aren't coincidences. I really do in my D&D campaign that I DM though. A big plot point is that fate is like set up a certain way, but fate is also changeable, and that's like a trope I really like. Is that sure, fate exists, but you can break it, which is like God of War is actually really getting into that. That trope I really like it, where you can change fate. It exists, but that doesn't mean it can't be changed. I like that idea.
I like that stuff a lot in fiction when they go that way with it. I don't like the thing where somebody learns their fate and they try to do stuff to change it and then it makes it happen. I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like that lesson at all.
It's just like annoying. It's just like, we've established we know how prophecies work. You can't get out of it.
Yeah. I was trying to come up with a way to make fun of Fate Grand Order during that conversation, but I don't need to. It's bad game. That's the Fate series mobile game.
Bad Odor.
Fate Bad Odor. I love that. I'm gonna send that to my Fate Grand Order chat after this.
Good. I want. It's canon now. That's the new name of the game.
It's
so speaking
accurate.
speaking of games, okay.
Uh oh.
So for my segment, there are multiple ways I want to do this. So we're gonna invent a sport, Erin.
Okay, like Calvin Ball.
We're gonna invent a sport. Not like Calvin Ball is a game that has no rules, because the only rule of Calvin Ball is that you can make up rules as you go.
Okay, then like a different game they made up in a different media franchise.
Yes.
Okay.
No, we are going to invent a sport right now. And I have like a list of prompts for us to go through, but we're gonna create the equipment, like the base rules, like where they play, and like also some of like the team stuff. So we're gonna come up with some team names.
Okay.
I do not care how serious this gets, but I would like the game to be physically possible. Maybe. I don't even know if I care about that.
Okay, that is fine.
Okay. We'll come up with a name later, though. But I think the key thing that we need to decide with this sport, so it's an athletic activity, is how do you gain points in the sport?
How do you gain points in this?
How do we gain points in the sport? What is the sport? What is the game that we're coming up with?
So I'm trying to think what other sports there are and things they have. A lot of them have balls.
a lot of them have objects going into other objects.
Yes. Yeah, like a basket or a goal or something. I'm trying to think. Are there sports that what sports
Du-
don't have that?
Baseball, it's just
It's just
you
ball
just
go far.
ball. You want ball go far. You
Mm-hmm.
want no one get you don't want anyone to get the ball. Um, Most games have balls. Few games have like other equipment.
Can our
Um,
game have like a cube or something that isn't a
okay, so
ball?
yeah, let's start with that. Okay, so we have the cube. Uh, and we're gonna call it the one true cube.
The one true cube.
Okay, so that's our first prompt, right? That this is the key piece of equipment for this game. Is a cube, which I imagine is something that they're gonna have to mass produce because it's not like a thing you can just go buy. So this is gonna be a hard sport to get off the ground, but it's gonna be good once we get into it.
I am sure that foam cubes exist, but yeah.
What is the well? Is it made out of foam, Aaron? What's the cube made out of?
Oh, could it be like a dice thing where you like flip it and it lands on something?
Aaron, you're creating Dungeons and Dragons.
But with running. No.
Rungeons and Dragons.
Rungeons and Dragons.
What do we do with this cube? Is the thing? Is the goal to get the cube somewhere? Does the cube dictate the other rules of the game? Does the cube not actually matter? Is it just a distraction, a red herring?
I'm thinking either you have to pass the cube to somebody or you have to not drop the cube.
Not drop the cube?
Okay.
Maybe, or what? I'm thinking like what? So what if it's like dodgeball?
Okay.
And so you have to pass it to the other team, but the other team doesn't want to be passed to.
So dodgeball with cubes, where you pelt someone in the face with it.
I don't know if you want to hit them with it though.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm thinking
you're
about
just
this.
going up pretending like you're going in for a handshake, and then you're like, surprise, it's the cube.
How do we trick the other team into having possession of the cube? It's like keep away. You don't want the cube.
Oh,
because
okay.
If you keep the cube, it'll let you know the secrets of the universe, and then that will send you into insanity.
And you have to jump through flaming hoops.
Okay, so flaming hoops. No, I like it.
Okay.
Maybe if you have the cube, you have to run like this obstacle course.
Okay.
Yeah, like you're putting time out. So we're gonna need like a second objective. I think we need like maybe there are 2 cubes.
Okay.
And there's the true cube and the imposter cube. And if you have the imposter
Among Us.
if you have the fake cube, you get sent to the punishment zone where you have to jump through the obstacle course. So there's no penalty box. There's just the punishment zone.
So they look the same, but they have something inside of it that tells you if it's the fake one or not.
I'm not sure how you would tell the difference.
Okay.
Because that's a good question. It's like, how do we make them different, but close to similar? Because you want one of the cubes and not the other cube. Maybe, I don't know, like maybe they're made out of different materials, or like one is lighter.
Oh, that could be a good thing. Like they look the same. What if there's like a pedestal with the cube on it or something, and you and somebody from the other team have to like run towards it, and you're trying to get it, and then when you get there, you realize which one it is. And if
that's really good.
You try to give it to the other person or something.
Or it's like, well, it's partially like figuring out which cube is which, and then placing it on the pedestal. And then when you place it on the pedestal, then you either get a point or are sent to the punishment zone.
What happens in the punishment zone?
That's the obstacle course that you have to run through with flaming hoops.
Okay.
It's like the game keeps going, but like that team is now down a player.
Okay.
Until they can solve the horrors of the punishment zone, which include flaming hoops and the creature.
The creature? What is the creature, Mancha?
You don't want to know.
All right. So you have to do something to get the cube, and then you have to place it on a pedestal.
Yeah.
What? So if you get,
You play like there could be 2 pedestals, like one for each team. So you place it on your pedestal.
when you pick up the cube, you know which one it is.
Maybe not anymore now.
Okay.
I I think maybe what you do then is you designate at like the beginning of each like round someone who, like a member of the team on each side knows which is which, and they're the only one, and they can't communicate it. You can't talk during this game.
The cube is either good or bad, and there's a pedestal for your team and the other team, and if it's bad, you want to put it on the other one. If it's good, you want to put it on yours.
No, you just want to put the good one on yours, I think.
Yeah, but what do you do if you have the bad one?
Try to pass it off to try to feint the other team into thinking it's the good one.
But they would never once they know it's bad, they would never put it on.
No, but like again, they wouldn't know, right? So it's like I'm thinking of it like this, right? You have these 2 cubes, okay? Let's say there's how many people you want to put on a team? 6?
Sure.
Let's say there's 6 people on a team because it's a cube, okay? One of the people knows which one it is. They can't communicate which one is which, but they know that they want to get their good cube to their pedestal. The rest of the team has to follow the lead of like the round's captain. So it's about like is the strategy that you want to take trying to get yours and going for it, or trying to convince the other team that the like one cube is the other cube, and then tricking them into going onto their side.
I guess my thing is just like once both teams have realized it's not good or something, what do they do with it?
Well, you don't know.
Okay,
it's
just that somebody knows in there. Well, it's like I don't know how you
it's reset in between each round.
Okay, I don't know how you would get the person who knows to do anything without having some way to convey it. You know what I mean?
So maybe there has to be some communication, but you can't like tell. You can't say like that's the cube or that's not, or I don't know. It feels like it's really easily breakable with communication, and so it has to be more about trust.
You would not trust anyone on the opposite team under any circumstances.
But like, what if it looks like they're taking the cube to their pedestal, but like, wouldn't you want to take that away from them? If they think that's the correct cube, and then you take it and put it on your pedestal, what if it was a fake all along? I think this works. I really think this works.
If someone knows anything, there's going to be some scenario where both sides figure out what's going on, and I just need to know what happens in that scenario.
Well, I mean, if you know what's going on, then it's just about getting the cube and then getting it on your pedestal.
No, like if it's bad. If you're not,
I mean, there's 2 of them.
Oh, you're saying that they would just focus on the good one.
Yeah, both cubes are in play at once.
And they would just discard the bad one if they realize.
Yeah, but someone has to be holding onto the cubes at all times.
Oh, okay. So then whoever it ends with.
Just they have to hold on to it.
Okay, yeah.
What do you want to call this game? I'm giving you the power here.
Cube Among Us. No, I don't know. Good cube, bad cube. NaughtyCube.
NaughtyCube's really funny.
Okay, it's called NaughtyCube. And 6-person teams.
Yeah.
And there's like a field.
NaughtyCube is one word, but like the C is capital.
Okay, that works. There's a field and they have a pedestal on each side.
Okay, so what's the name of the man who's the Grand Commissioner of NaughtyCube?
The Grand Commissioner?
He's the head of NaughtyCube. He's the head of the NaughtyCube League.
Like he invented the sport, or he's one of the players?
He's like the head. Yeah, he's like the inventor. Like, I don't know.
Mr.
Like,
Cube.
I don't know. Just someone who's like a name for the sport, like, you know, like John Madden.
John Cube.
John Cube. Okay. John Cube's NaughtyCube games.
John Cube. Okay.
We need a name for the league before we start getting into NaughtyCube team names. I'm going to suggest the NaughtyCube Friends League, the NFL.
Oh, sure, yeah. Okay. Naughty Cube.
we're just going with the NFL.
Yeah, that one's not taken. It's fine.
Oh, that's fair. I
Um,
must have been thinking of NFTs.
yeah. Okay, so who knows about the who knows about the cube?
There's like a draft, like, so you know who knows, right? So it's like let's say everyone has a number like 1 through 6 on the team. Person 1 will for round 1, and then round 2 it's 2, and then how many points to win, or like how long is a game, or how many rounds is a game?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what we're doing with the person that knows, like what they're allowed to do.
It's just they have knowledge, which means they have to direct their team to do stuff.
So do they just tell them immediately, or is there like some way we restrict like when they're allowed to tell them stuff, or like what?
I think it just has to be through nonverbal cues.
Okay. All right, I like that. Okay. Person so one person on each team knows?
Yeah, they are the informant.
The informant.
Everyone else can talk, but the informant can't speak. That's
Okay.
what we can do.
And you don't want and you also have to be careful because the other team might hear you or whatever.
Exactly.
If you go, oh, it's the good one, yeah.
How do you do you just have to rip the ball away from someone, or the cube away from someone? How do you get the cube if someone else has it?
Yeah, I think you'd have to take it from somebody.
Just like forcefully, or intercept it. So it's like basketball rules.
Yeah. But it can't touch the ground. Someone has to be
If you like drop it, the other team automatically gets it, maybe.
Unless
Since there's no dribbling.
Unless it's the bad one, we don't want that to be the case because if they knew, they would just immediately drop it.
I feel like dropping it could. I feel like that knowledge though could play into strategy. So I don't know.
How? Give me an example.
Know. I'm thinking about like the mind games of it. Just like trying to confuse the team if they have both cubes. Or like, like making it look like you're trying to do a really long pass and like intentionally scuffing it, but it doesn't look like you are, right?
I just think the second a team has figured it out, you're just going to have a constant back and forth of dropping immediately, and it will like derail the game.
Here's what I do know.
How about if you drop it, you have to run the obstacle course, and they keep playing without you?
Maybe. Okay. I like the obstacle. I like the punishment zone we've created a lot. I also think in overtime there are 3 cubes.
Okay. What's the third one? Just another bad one?
It plays a noise. What? No. There's 1 cube that lets the other team win if you put it on the pedestal.
Okay.
So 1 like just sends 1 like ends the round, just sends the punishment zone. 1 gives you a point, 1 gives them a point. So it's like high stakes. So we have most of the rules, I think. I think we do like 3 sets of best out of 5. Maybe. Okay. So there's no overtime. There's no here's I've got it. So there's like it's 3 best out of 5s. So like 5 rounds. The first 2 are normal. The third one has the 3rd cube, so it gets hard in the 3rd round. 3 cubes in the 3rd round.
Okay, I like that.
So we have the NaughtyCube Friends League, created by John Cube. I want to talk about some of the main teams that are going to compete in the big NaughtyCube tournament, the Super Cube. No, it's the Hypercube. It's the Hypercube. That's funnier. Hypercube's like a mathematical constant. A tesseract is
see, I didn't know what that was. I was like, I get the Super Bowl joke. I don't get that one.
Well, it's also like, super and hyper.
Right.
They're like the same thing. They're like just like better. Okay, so some team names.
There's a team and they're just called the Cubes, and all the other ones are mad because they can't be that.
What city are they from, though?
They are from Cube, Illinois.
No, it's gotta be a real city, Erin.
I'm sure there's a city named Cube somewhere.
Fine. Where's Cube City? Korea.
They're the international team.
It's called... Is it real? Is this a real thing? Yeah, it's a mega complex in Seoul, Korea. I don't like that.
What do you got?
I think we make it the Cube City Cubes and no one knows where they're from.
Okay, yeah. They're just from nobody. Yeah.
I have they're called the DCBCs. They're from Washington DC, and they're the Washington DC Bryan Cranstons.
Okay. I was gonna say, what are some like cube-shaped things people might name their team after?
Oh, if you want cube-shaped things like Rubik's cubes, dice, boxes, packages, ice.
The cardboard boxes, and they are sponsored by Amazon.
The Amazon cardboard boxes. And then I'll add the what's a funny the Salt Lake City Mormons. This is the new Mormon sport.
Okay. Is Rubik's Cube trademarked?
Yes.
So some team named themselves that, but they got like copyright claims, so now they're just the multicolored cubes with however many faces it has.
Like how many squares? So what's
Yeah.
6 times 9 is 54, probably 54.
Yeah, 6 sides times 9. Yeah.
So they're like the 54s.
Sure.
Where are they from?
I'm run out of cities after Cube City and Amazon.
The two cities in real life.
Yes.
The Oregon Trail 54s.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna add the Raleigh Goods.
What does that mean?
They're Raleigh Good. And then one more from you, because I had 4.
The Ohio trash bins, and there's no other cities in Ohio. They get one team to represent the whole state.
Okay, so we have the Cube City Cubes, the DCBCs, the Toledo Burritos, the Amazon Cardboard Boxes, the Salt Lake City Mormons, the Oregon Trail 54s, the Raleigh Goods, and the Ohio trash bins.
Excellent.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's NaughtyCube, and we've just invented it. Tune in every week now for our new NaughtyCube podcast, NaughtyCube Times.
I would play this game minus the flaming hoop obstacle course.
No, it comes with it. The punishment zone is a key part of the game.
I feel like that would also restrict how many people can become NaughtyCube players, because the equipment needed to play the game properly is like insane.
Well, you can like jump through a hula hoop and have someone pretend to be the creature.
You could have a hula hoop and somebody just lights it on fire and holds it.
You don't have to light it
until
on
burns
fire.
Their hand. Okay. That's not in the spirit of the game, though.
Okay, fine. You jump through the hoop, and then you have a kid with a lighter and aerosol can, an aerosol can fart, aerosol fart on the other side.
Excellent. Fire has to be involved some way.
Fart. They set everyone on fire, and that's the new game. It's NaughtyCube Fire Edition. Everyone's on fire. Got to get the game done quickly, or they won't put you out.
Excellent.
Only the team that finds the cube gets extinguished.
You can tell that I don't play sports when like the best sport we can come up with is this.
That's why I wanted to do this, because we don't play sports.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that being said, thank you for tuning in to our Dumb Sportscast, the NaughtyCube Adventures. If you like us, or if you like our other show, Unlimited Appetizers, you can follow us here. You can like and subscribe and comment and give us ideas. That would be great. And tell us how bad NaughtyCube is, or other things.
Send us your home videos of you playing it.
I would love to see someone play NaughtyCube.
Yeah. You can follow the podcast on Twitter and Instagram at appetizercast. And you can follow either of us. We are Erin MacDaddy and Moth Mancha.
With that, be sure to tip your waitresses. Don't get sent to the punishment zone, and we'll see you next time.
See you.